Forward. Okay, everybody, this is the midweek review for Data Traders Versus and the week of November the 19th. And we were just talking about how you have to be in rhythm, right? And sometimes you're not in a, in a bad state of mind. You're not in a good state of mind. You're just in a neutral state of mind. And you just kind of on autopilot, right? And normally people say that you just want to take your feelings out of it and, you want to be out of your feelings and all that other kind of stuff. And that's how you want to trade. But sometimes, life just, it's just life. You could be really, really busy at work. You could have stuff going on with your family. You could have stuff going on with your health. You could be, have a little anxiety. I mean, all kind of things and all of those things could be happening at the same time. It could be a number of things that will take you out of your rhythm, right? So what I've been trying to um kind of work on, myself, and I'm just sharing this with you guys, is just getting ahead of the things that throw me off, right? And I say that by saying, right, like I know the past couple days have been really, really busy for me, really like mentally, a lot of mental capital has been spent over the last couple of weeks, really this whole year. And I've had this huge, in my case, I had this huge app I've been building for my company. And it's just been me, right? I've been the only person um, that's been architecting, building, designing, talking to the customer, coming up with the process to move, coming up with all the processes, you know, going back and forth with the customer to make sure that it is what they want. You know, after it's built, I'm doing all the reporting, I'm doing all the customer support, and mentally, it's the same side of the brain you need to be working on and using in order to trade as well. So sometimes, you know, I get home or oh, I'm trying to trade and I'm looking at the charts and I'm like, I see what I want to see, but I just can't press the button sometimes because I'm just not in sync with what's going on. My feel's not there. And trying to get ahead of that has been me like taking like steps to try to like prep myself ahead of time. So some of the things I've done to try to prep myself ahead of time that it's early in the process of me doing this, so I don't know how well or how great they work, but I'm just giving y'all some of the things that I'm doing right now. And the days that I'm looking at um and the things that I'm dealing with is like, all right, cool. I know I can't trade on Tuesday and Wednesday, right? So this is rule number one. So one of the things is I know that I'm in the office on Tuesday and Wednesday, right? Even today, right? And it just so happened that I didn't have to go in the office today, but my brain mentally has me in the office right now, even though I didn't have to go. But like that's kind of what threw me off today was because I wasn't expecting to be off today, but I had the opportunity to be off and I had the opportunity to trade, but it's just like I couldn't, because I just mentally wasn't prepared for it. So on the days when I don't work in the office are the days that I have to try to trade that which is Monday, Thursday, and Friday, right? But on those days, the same time on those days, I usually have a 9 a.m. call with my job, and that call sometimes lasts 1 and 2 hours. So literally the most volatile times of the market, which are, the opening till around noon, I am like taken away for like an hour or two of that time. So it kind of gets me frustrated because I'll be on the call trying to listen and answer questions and doing all that kind of stuff. And I'm still trying to look at the charts. And sometimes not even sometimes, a lot of times I miss the move because I'm dealing with my job, right? So that's every day of the week. That's Monday through Friday. That this is the case. And that's even on days when I'm not in the office and when I'm in the office. So what I've been trying to do is trying to either get in my trades before before work, before I gotta work, which I try to do 7 till 9, or I'm trying to catch them like 10 until 11, right? Because you still get a good move around that time when the 10 o'clock candle open. And if there's no catalyst, if there's a catalyst before 9 o'clock, which is usually 8:30 because we got news, I can usually catch something then. But if I'm not able to catch it in between those times, I'll usually like try to not really sit out. I mean, not really trade or sit out, right? But lately, the move has not been in my favor. Even though I see what's happening, even though I know what I'm expecting, it just hasn't been in my favor because of those things. Then the other thing that I'm trying to do a lot more, and that's this call helps to do that, is also to prep the night before. So I, like I'm doing now, go over my charts every night with the idea of what could happen the next day and what liquidity that we should be going after, what areas of liquidity, what where the order blocks are, where the fair value gaps are. Has anything been inverted? Has anything left a gap? So the night before, I already have an idea of what to expect, right? So that way, even if I, wake up late or, which is another thing I've been dealing with. I've been having some real bad anxiety because I'm just like thinking about work, thinking about trying to finish this project and just stuff like that, right? So I've been trying to spend more time at nighttime prepping for the market open in the morning, and that way it doesn't take me as long to go through the charts because I already know what I'm expecting. And if we deviate outside of that, I already know where we could possibly be going and how to take advantage of that, right? Okay, the protect the nine to the other one was protect the 7 and 9 window, which I already talked about. And then the other one is switch my mindset. Like I want to try to take a trade every single day, right? And at the same time, I know I can't, right? So I get a little FOMO sometimes, or I'm jumping in trades a little early sometimes because I don't know the next time when I can trade, right? Like I traded twice last week, right? And I won my trades, everything great, right? But I really haven't been able to get a trade in since last week. And that's talking about I worked from home on Monday. I went in the office on Tuesday. I was supposed to go in the office on today, but I didn't. So far, again, I haven't been able to follow my routine. So what it does to you mentally and what it does to your mental capacity, it puts you in a situation where because you don't know when the next time you trading, you may possibly go a little heavier or you may get into stuff earlier than you might want to because you're just looking to go ahead and trade. And if you win, it it takes away from the impact that that's having on you. But if you lose, it can have the ill fate of making you want to hurry up and get it back as soon as possible. So now you trading outside of your hours. Now you looking at stuff you shouldn't be looking at. You looking at pairs you normally don't trade. You are taking stuff that's not your setup just to make back what you lost during that time frame. And because you don't know when the next time you're gonna trade. So that's something I've had to pay attention to, right? Then the next thing I've been trying to work on is, and I'm still in the process of this, is just when I wake up in the morning, like don't just try to run straight to the charts, right? Don't just get up, go look for trades and think that that's how it's supposed to be. Like a lot of my issues about that I've been dealing with lately has been just being cloudy, my brain being foggy, not getting enough sleep, not getting enough exercise, not getting enough sun lately. And that's been just because I just been working so hard to try to get this project done, right? I got a deadline that I have to meet, and it's got me researching a bunch of stuff. It's got me, stuck in front of the laptop. If I'm not in front of my laptop, I'm on my phone thinking about it. I'm on my tablet doing it. I even when I've been on taking my little quick little vacations or whatever, I can't even relax then because I'm thinking about what I need to still do. So it's like my brain never turn off on this, right? And all while I still want to trade, all while I'm still trying to work out every now and then, all while I'm trying to, make sure my family and stuff straight. Look out, maybe I got to go pick up my nephew or something like that, or I got my niece over here with me, and it is even when I'm enjoying those moments. I'm still trying to figure out work stuff, right? So then the next thing is if I do feel like this and I'm noticing it ahead of time, keep another account, whether it's a demo account or whether it's a smaller account, a small live account, or whether it's a funded account or whatever. Keep an account that you're okay with making mistakes in, right? You're not gonna like be mad or anything about this account if you blow it, because this account is for when you have these moments when you just don't know, when you're just not sure, when you're just not feeling it, right? And you can put your trades in, still follow your rules and everything, but just don't put the trades in when you're feeling like this in your main accounts. Use that other account for that. So that way you can still get that experience, still follow your rules, still do everything. But when you know you just not there and you just know you see what you see on the trades, take it in that account if you don't feel right. And then the next thing is uh outside of the trading hours, right? And this is the part that I still need to work on, right? It's just I got to do some stuff to separate myself from what I'm doing with my job, right? And you know, it is gonna have to be following a bedtime. It's gonna be hydrating more. It is gonna have to be spending more time working out. It is gonna have to be doing certain things to reduce those stressors and the things, to so that I can pull myself mentally away from work and even trading, right? Where I'm really, that's why I've been hiking a lot lately because I've been trying to go and do something that just like completely take me away from what I would be doing on a normal and leave without my laptop and all that stuff. But it's just a temporary hit, so it ain't really hitting like I need it to right now. But that's just an example, right? So today I just thought I would give y'all some of what I've been experiencing because this can help you in outside of trading too and within trading as well. So that's gonna be the mindset session today, man. And I think you said something too, Tree.
Was coming off.
Okay.
Yeah, I did too. Like I feel like I'm going through the same situation where with we got budgets up, we got audits we just wrapped up. Just so much going on at work. And then my daughter got sick after her birthday. I'm like, man, come on. So
Yeah.
And then I traded today, and I would just didn't. I should have just been patient with my move, and it would have worked out. It just would have worked out, but I wasn't patient.
You took what'd you take?
I took I took in YM. I took
Oh,
YM,
okay.
and I got in around 10:30, and right as soon as I got in, it just dropped all the way down. I was like, man, because I saw NQ moving up. I saw it moving up, but then I should have went back and looked at NQ and realized, wait, it's doing a retracement back down into the fair value gap.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just should have been patient.
You got in off of what time frame?
Huh?
You got in off the 5 minute or the 1 hour or 15 minute or
I
what?
got in on the 5 minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was watching it that time too.
I just should have waited though. I not and I had a feeling. I was like, it's gonna probably retrace, like it's gonna come back down and tap that area. And sure enough it did.
You got in around what price?
uh Go back to YM. I got in at 46,199.
46. 199?
Mm-hmm. It was around like 10:40.
1099? Oh, wait. You said 1040? Oh, okay. You got in down here. Okay. Yeah, I see. All right. You were looking at this. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
You were looking at the value gap right here.
It sure was.
Yeah. I'll show you why that did what it did in a second. But yeah, you definitely I see why you did that. I'll say that. I see why you did that. But yeah, I knew that we had Nvidia earnings. So, we knew it was gonna buy. It just chopped around like it
It sure did.
chopped around a lot.
Yep.
And I actually was looking for this sale that we got on all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for the buy, but I wasn't looking for the buy until later on. But it actually bought up first, sold off, stalled out, and then it just bought up at the
Yeah.
end. So, but let's check and see what we got on. I'm gonna go ahead and get on the charts. I'm gonna try not to keep everybody on here late tonight. Um, we got we had Trump speaking at 12. That's why we had the stagnant. That's why we were stagnant because Trump was speaking. Which you can see lines up with that 12 o'clock hour. All this movement sideways was because of Trump, of course. Um, then we had FOMC meetings at 2, so that was the reason for our sideways movement. And so now we got the rest of the week. We got Thursday. We got hourly earnings. We supposed to get non-farm payroll. We'll see. We got unemployment rate. We got fairly fed unemployment claims, which is normally at 8:30, but they got it as tentative right now. And existing home sales. Now for tomorrow, the trade before the 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. move that I might be looking for will happen around 8:30, likely. So If I don't get a chance to get into that 10 a.m. setup, then that's what I'll try to do, get in before. And then on Friday, we got 9:45 a.m. news. We got PMI and we got consumer sentiment, which it's been actually moving us a little bit lately. But I think a lot of that had to do with because we didn't have a lot of news. So we had to pay attention to the consumer sentiment numbers. And then we had our big boy Nvidia reported today in after hours. I already saw that it's up again. I think it's already at 195 right now. Um, after hours. Let me refresh. So all of the everybody was waiting on Nvidia. Um, and it is one to own. It is one to own. I got some stock in Nvidia and I'm just gonna hold it. I again this my because my headspace been so off lately, I didn't pick up any more. But I'm okay with that because you'll get another opportunity. We'll get another opportunity. We just got to be patient for it. That's all it is. So I think I just saw after hours we were at like 195 or something like that. So that means we back above this high or this previous day high. I don't have no setup on this because I don't have any options on it right now. And honestly, I have only been maintaining my option plays. Been I haven't been able to see anything that was like looking good for me right now. I know we got beat down this week in the past couple weeks. So I'm just waiting for things to get to points where I'm actually ready to buy again, right? We got SMCI. We've been looking at this stock. It's finally come down for this first leg, 0 to 1 leg right here. And we just sitting right now, still at the 0 to 1 leg, right? And I'm thinking we get a bounce near this area, which would line up with the Nvidia move. So I may be starting to look at adding on at SMCI, but not ready to talk about any setups. Neo is just kind of like not moving a lot right now. He actually sold off a little bit, and now I'm like trying to figure out like how I'm gonna handle this because this one is one that I was in for a earnings play, but we obviously did not. So I'll probably add on a little to this right before the earnings on the 25th to see if we get a pop. If they get a beat, then we can see if we can pull off a rebound off of this. But if not, I'm just gonna take that one as a L on that one. So far, and then grab. We already talked about this one. We had to take a L on the grab play, but path as well. Path is still good. Path is still just kind of sitting. We are at an add-on spot. Jumia has come down some. Jumia came down some, but it's still sitting and holding. So I'm okay with this one. This one's one that I was expecting to take a minute anyway. So we still just rocking with that one, right? So no real updates on the options right now. Then the Fed rate, the decision is the week after next, right? So it's not next week, but the week after next. And you can see that it was 99% that we would get a 25 basis point cut. I just wanted to show y'all again that has pretty much gone to almost 70% chance that they leave the rate as is, right? So this basically saying that they'll leave the rate at pretty much 400 or 4.0 and with no change on the rate. So this is basically due to the government being closed and them the Feds not getting the data they need to make the decision. So that's kind of where we are with that, right? And then now we can go ahead and get on the charts, right? Any questions before I start on the charts?
Nope, I'm good, Corey.
Okay. All right. So dollar pretty much made this move right here, made our first our bullish move up, right? This one. And then, the goal was to get this high, take these previous week highs, and then we eventually trade into this gap from the new week opening gap, right? And where are we right now? We are exactly where we thought we would be, right? And you can see why we got there. So over here, the way we got there, right? And that's what's important is watching the way we get here, right? So we open up Sunday right here. We took this high. There's a gap right here, which I told y'all about, but I said I wasn't going to pay attention to it because we also have this middle of this inverted fair value gap right here, which is roughly right around here, right? But once we took that high, we traded into this little fair value gap right here, took it, traded into it, held it right here, pushed back up, right? Took out this high, made another little fair value gap right here, pushed up, took out this high, traded back down into that fair value gap again. We held. Then we pushed up and we traded on top of the inverted fair value gap, held it, and then we bounced up higher. Then we took out this high. And then we went ahead and traded into this range. So we stair step all the way up into what we needed to go and how we were going to get there on the chart, right? So now that we've done this, right? Now we need to look at what happened on the daily chart. Now we understand what happened so far, right? So on the daily chart, starting from Monday and Sunday, Tuesday and Wednesday, right? So now we got this big, huge engulfing candle right here. And we traded through this fair value gap on the daily right here. So now this fair value gap that was supposed to sell off is now going to be potentially an area where we can see some buying, right? And it also lines up with the fact that we have this candle that traded through it. When you got this big engulfing candle, usually it's hard for us to come out and take out this low right here. So either we're going to trade through it and above it to take out the next high, or we are going to just trade inside of the body of this candle. So we're going to do one or two things, right? So now, right? Now we got the idea from the daily what we're going to do. 4 hour, we already know and we already know that on the daily we need to add this fair value gap. It lines up with that new week opening gap too, but this is inverted. And we got some overlap. We can get rid of some of the stuff we got down there. So we done with him. We took these highs. We don't need that anymore. This stuff is done for now. He's done. We left these equal lows. We can still come back to this at some point. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, but we'll just extend it out anyway. We took this previous day high out and we took this one out. and we took this one out. So these are done, right? We still got these to consider. Going into the next day, right? So, with that being said, right, where do you see us at current price falling down to, and where do you see us holding? The first thing is I am going to change some of the tools I'm using, and I want you to do this because I'm going to start using this Elliott wave tool because I just want you to see like the different legs that I'm talking about. So this 0 to 1 move is the move down to the monthly, possibly, right? Then if we do retrace, either we're going to retrace and keep going, or we're going to retrace, come into this area and sell off, and we'll take out this one. And then we'll start to grab some of this liquidity down here. Worst case scenario, we push down to here. Then on the after we do the 2 to 3 move, we will need to retrace at that point. And if we do retrace, there should be a fair value gap in between the 2 and 3 move that we should get our lower high on at 4. And then our 4 to 5 move will either take out 3 and hold, or we trade down to this area we traded from, right? So that's what I'm looking for the downside, right? That's for the downside. But if we get to from the 0 to 1 move, that move already is inside of a fair value gap. And we know, like we said, we could see price come inside of this fair value gap that got inverted and hold at any point inside of this. So we already know that the first move that and the main move we should probably be looking for is a buy from inside of the inverted fair value gap, meaning we could be seeing buys from the high, middle, or low. Worst case scenario is the low. That's why this line is right here because I'm using worst case scenario, but you can start looking for buys at the 100.14, the 100.014 level, the 100.161 level, and then finally at the bottom, the 99.868 level, right? We can see buying at any one of those marks. So that's what I mean when I'm drawing that candle there. So let me extend this out too. All right. The other thing is since we know that these highs need to get taken out, we could just open up and start looking for those highs, right? What that'll look like is I think we still go ahead and target. Let me drop to the 1 hour.
So, Corey, I got a quick question.
Yep.
Okay, when you're drawing your targets, your move, so what determines the level that you draw them to? Are you going to a level? You drawing levels of liquidity? Are you taking out support levels? What justifies you stopping at, like, okay, say for instance, okay, level, you drew down to level 1, you went back up to level 2. I understand that. That's the middle of the fair value gap. Then you're drawing all the way down to level 3. So that look like it's taking out one, two, three levels of liquidity down there.
Right here. All of this liquidity down here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'll explain.
Okay, cool.
So this particular low is a significant low right here. So and it's significant, it's a previous day low, right? And this particular low is one that came off of a news move, right? So on this particular day, there was news that drove the price to make these equal lows. So this equal lows, once you see an equal low or you see a like a significant swing low that's standing by itself, if it trades from here and we wanted to sell off in here like this two, the 1 to 2 move, if we do sell off from right here, it's probably going to be going down to a significant level of liquidity, right? Where we're going to get targets all the way down here. And if we don't, that's okay because it's not so much to project the entire move, but this is likely where we could come to, right? This is likely where it's going to draw to because again, everything we doing is going from one liquidity level to the next liquidity level, right? So all we doing is looking for where is the next liquidity level that we could possibly come to. And once we see like, hey, there's a significant liquidity level, particularly underneath these equal lows, that'll probably be where we get our prices to aim at. That's probably where they're aiming for. If we see price start selling off from that from this particular level, because these will be easier targets to get. But there's definitely a lot of liquidity underneath these equal lows. So this 2 to 3 move could stop here. It could stop at this low. It could also stop at this low. But the probability is we are going to get these lows taken out right here. That's kind of why. And then the 4 to 5 move, again, the 4 to 5 move that happens if we make a retracement from 3 to 4. 3 to 4 is retracing if there's a fair value gap inside of the 2 to 3 move, right? The 2 to 3 move should create some kind of fair value gap. And if the 2 to 3 move does create the fair value gap, that's where our 4 to 5 move will come from. And if we already have taken out this liquidity here on the 2 to 3 move, this liquidity here on the 2 to 3 move, and we haven't taken this out, that means we got two equal lows here. We got a relatively equal low at 3. And then the 4 to 5 move should go ahead and take both of those out. And then the next thing we got to trade down to is this order block and then this fair value gap right here. Does that make sense? Does that make sense at all?
Oh yeah, it make perfect sense. Yeah.
Okay. And again, if we get in this 2 to 3 move and we do see sell off, we could also see the buy triggering somewhere inside of this 2 to 3 move somewhere. So I'm gonna say the monthly. I like the monthly because we could definitely get a bounce off the monthly. And then our target on the upside, let me go back to the daily, is to take out this high right here. And then we got an order block. So that's why I'm putting 5 on the upside right here because we can target this order block as a upside target. All right. This from the daily. Hope it makes sense. So our 5 line up with us tapping into the daily order block. And really, if we get the move between 0 to 1 inside of this fair value gap, this is the main move I'm looking at right here. This move, if we move down and hold and bounce somewhere in between here, because I think we get a retracement or whatnot, and then we come off of it, but we'll see. And let me kind of also get the notes in here. So the main move for dollar, and this is actually a fair value gap to the upside too.
And Corey, I'm so mad at myself, man. I was in this trade, but I
Um,
set my stop loss too low.
you paper trading on dollar.
Yeah, I mean not my stop loss, but my take profit. I took my take profit too low.
That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. So we got the overlap too. That's why. And so the main thing I'm thinking, since we got this overlap, I think we'll come like right around the middle to the high, to the middle to the high of this 4 hour fair value gap right here. And we'll kind of hold inside of there, right? So that's what I'm kind of thinking. So the main move is the bounce off the inverted fair value gap slash 4 hour bullish fair value gap, where we could see buying at the high or the middle of the 4 hour bullish fair value gap. That's the main setup, right? Which will happen between 0 to 1 of the move, right? And the levels on that and the bullish fair value gap um is 100.106 is the high. The middle is 99.949. That's the middle. And then the low is 99.792. And then the levels on that inverted fair value gap, the high is 100.161. The middle is 100.014. And then the low is 99.868 for the low. All right, and I'll drop the chart in the chat. All right, now gold. Gold has been moving. Gold been moving. So since dollar been buying since the week open, gold has actually been sideways and kind of up all about, So it's kind of been sideways. It's been moving up so far, but it's still kind of just been inside of the range between these highs, and now we made a new low off of the monthly, right? So you see, since last week, we came down, we bounced off of this monthly. Now I kind of read gold wrong this week. I thought we would push up on gold this week, but and then hold inside of this fair value gap and then push up. I was wrong. I admit I was wrong on this one. We actually pushed down and took out this low. I thought this low was going to be intact. And then we bounced off of the ranges off the area that we created after we took out this low, and then we just moved up. So we pretty much are now just getting to this fair value gap. So we'll still need to see how we react to that. So let's get rid of some of this stuff on this. Because we still kind of in the same place that we literally, this was our close on Friday. This is where we at right now. Like we literally at the same place. We did all of that move down just to be at the same point. So if dollar is still trying to buy up, right? That means that we have to assume that we still got some downside on gold, or at least we might still be ranging on gold. But we took out this high. We traded into this fair value gap. And then you see this daily fair value gap that we inside right here. Let me extend him out so you can see him a little more. We'll go to the 4-hour chart real quick. So we mainly let's look at the daily chart altogether. So we mainly inside of these joined fair value gaps right here, where we got one right here, we got another one right here. So I just put them both together. Price held pretty much inside of that, and now it's trying to push up off of that. And we had this bearish fair value gap right here. We finally traded up into it. We came into the low of it. The middle is right about here. We almost hit the middle, and now we starting to sell off. So if we still going to sell, you can already see on the daily, these two lows are at risk right here. And then there is a order block right here on the daily that we may want to come into, but we all have to look for that to maybe hold before we try to look to take out this low. I think gold is a low key, kind of still bullish. I think it's just trying to get some bearings, right? So we probably might be going into accumulation period where we just kind of going sideways on gold, where we got this high, we set a low, and we kind of just hang out in between until we figure out what we're gonna do. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on dollar. I mean gold. I keep saying dollar. Um, if we do need to go higher into the fair value gap, since we already tapped it once, it is a possibility that we could go back into it, because we are just sitting shy of it. We still may want to come and take out this high from yesterday, which is our previous day high. And we set a weekly low here when we took out the low, and bounced off of the monthly. And then our low here and here is the low that lined up with us on that daily. So that's why I'm looking at this, because if you take a closer look, you have a lot of overlap. I'm gonna move this out the way because we need it, but we have stuff that's like taking its place, right? And this is what I always mean when I tell you like everything just basically replaces itself with something else, something different, right? So we were looking at this inverted fair value gap, right? That was inside of this bullish fair value gap, right? We got our overlap. We came all the way down and traded off of it, traded back into it. And now we got a fair value gap right here. We got one right here. And we got equal lows right here. So a lot of times what I like to see is I like to see a fair value gap that has equal lows above it. Because a lot of times what they'll tend to do is they'll sweep the lows or sweep the low that's right that's right above the fair value gap, then trade into the fair value gap and move from there. So for a short term move, if we get something that look like this where we sweep these lows, we could be seeing us hold around this low one more time. So this will be a 0 to 1 setup if we push off from the low and then push up to take the goal will be first take out this high and then take out that high. And then we come back into this 4 hour fair value gap. If we get in here, we need to see price hold inside of here, and then we'll see if we get to push higher to the upside. If not, we just sit inside of the range from this high to this low. But in this case, we'll be at a bearish point of interest, and we should look for finally getting a response to the downsides that lines up with dollar pushing up higher, right? So either we just go ahead and sell off from here, and we go ahead and on our 0 to 1 move, instead of us um instead of us go ahead and just bouncing, if you see us take out this low, these lows, and take out this fair value gap and take out this fair value gap, that could be leading us to a lower move down, right? Let me draw that out. And we'll also have a 0 to 1 move from here to here, but we'll get our 2 to 3 move over here, and then we may sell off to take out some of this area. And then you'll see us using this level to take out this weekly low and trade down into this daily fair value gap. And again, we should see on these move down that between each legs, the 0 to 1, the 2 to 3, we should see ourselves create fair value gaps through these lows to get to these points.
Because I got to jump off.
Okay, man.
I'll check y'all later.
Okay. All right. So that's our downside move. Then, of course, we could likely get bounces. We could likely get a bounce and a sell off. Mainly the sell off. I'm looking for that if we push up at our 2 to 3 move, because we could also get sell offs because this is inside of that fair value gap. So for now, that's what I'll be looking for. The main move on gold I'm gonna be looking for is that the bullish move for now below those, and I'm actually gonna be looking for this 0 to 1 move that take out these lows. So to this daily fair value gap low. And that daily fair value gap low is at 40.35.8. And see if we get a bounce off of there. And if we get a bounce off of there and it's strong bounce, then we'll start to look for it to take out this high and then the previous day high. The daily high and the previous day high. If we sell off here, then we can if we do take the 0 to 1 move and we take the 0 to 1 move and we continue to push down, then we can start targeting the weekly low. That makes sense? Hope.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right. Let me put gold in the chat. Now we can go to YM. YM. You can see we just dumped on YM. Took out the previous week low. We don't need you no more. Took out, oops. Took out this previous week low. And we made it all the way down. We took out these equal lows right here. So we took a lot of liquidity from the downside, right? And you can see our 0 to 1 move right here was pretty much us trading down to take out this low. And if we were going to bounce, it needed to be around this area right here on this 1 hour fair value gap. We traded through it and we actually tried to trade back up into it again, right? But we couldn't get back in there, right? And you can see the 0 to 1 move here. We actually tried to trade down to it and bounce right here off the high on Monday, and it just wasn't able to get back up and it ended up failing, right? So that's what I mean when I say like that's why I pick certain targets because I'm seeing like, okay, even if we were to sell from here, we should and we take out this low, it should come down to something in particular to try to bounce off of. This was the area. It wasn't able to do it, and then it failed, right? Then the next thing after this, it comes down to take out this low, but the next thing it tries to bounce off of is this inverted fair value gap. You can see we pretty much tapped the high of it. We pushed up into it. There's a fair value gap here. There's now this is inverted, and then it sold off from here. And again, every time it tried to bounce, it was at the high. You see blue candles here at the high. You see blue candles off of the middle. You see blue candles near the low, even underneath it as well. And now, what we're doing now is now we're going to see if we're going to pretty much use these same levels to get back up higher, right? Because we got a catalyst now. We have NVIDIA that reported very strong. So now we have to assume that they want to take the market back up at least temporarily. And as long as we don't have no bad news to kind of take away from that, right? Because we, like I said, we got some news that's coming out right now. So what that'll look like is this. All right, let's hide some of this stuff for now so we can just look at the daily. So We got all of this downside movement over here. Fair value gap, fair value gap, fair value gap, even a little small one right here. And we got an inverted gap right here. And now, where do we react to on these levels? Do we react to this one? Do we react to this one? Or do we push all the way up and react to this one? So that's kind of the question. This one took out a low, equal low. So it's a strong possibility we end up in between this one right here, which is right around the 46,930 area down to the 46,750 area, right? We already got something right there that says that that should probably be the case too. So now that we know and understand where we need to be looking, that means that we probably need to consider this area that's overlapped initially, because now that got inverted. And now move some of this to the side. We got this fair value gap from the 4 hour. Oops. I'm gonna leave this, but I'm gonna just move it off to the side. So, and then right above this, all this little area right here is little short-term liquidity, right? All this is little short-term liquidity that we could be coming to snatch into. We got a little small fair value gap. We got an order block. So what is likely to happen, get rid of him. We left this liquidity. We also left this liquidity right here and these highs right here. And then we got this fair value gap. And then these, if we go in the lower time frame, you'll see all of this lower time frame liquidity right here that we left. And just like before, right? I said I like to see liquidity below, right above a fair value gap, right? If I'm buying it, I like to see liquidity right before there is a move into the gap. And in this case, since it's a downside move, I like to see the liquidity right below the fair value gap, because this is probably where it's going to run to go grab this liquidity, then trade into this fair value gap, and then we'll get the decision of whether or not they want to sell off from here or do we keep buying inside of this. But because this is right below this fair value gap, right? Then this is what I'm talking about. All of this liquidity on the lower time frame right here, they need that, right? And this is sitting right below this big fair value gap. A lot of times what they like to do is they'll run this liquidity, trade up into here, and then sell off from there. And then they'll target these lows right here. The other thing they'll do, if they don't want to sell off from here, they'll still run this liquidity because they want it, trade up into here. And if they don't plan on selling off, you'll see price hold inside of this area. We'll get price start hanging out around the middle, hanging out around the high. You might see them come all the way back down around the middle, come down around the low. Then you'll see them retrace and then come all the way back out to go higher. That's how you know when it's not going to be used to go lower, because you'll see price start holding in this area. So And this will kind of be the setup we look for on um, NQ and S&P for right now, because this is the move that pretty much explains everything that we'll be seeing probably for the rest of this week, right? So we already got our first leg 0 to 1, meaning we'll go ahead and trade above this inverted fair value gap and start to take out this liquidity. And as we take out this liquidity, we should get a move to the downside to retrace back to that high of the inverted fair value gap on all the way up until we get into this fair value gap. And once we get inside of the fair value gap, right, then we'll kind of have to see, like, does this want to possibly sell off from here? And if we get to sell off from here, that's great. The other scenario is if we don't get to sell off from here, we get to buy from inside of there. So if this goes sideways, then we can also see price buy from here inside of here. And then we can start looking at these higher highs up here and even coming up to the monthly. And into this fair value gap from the daily. And we also have inversion. So 340, we should see price tapping that 340 area, tapping somewhere inside of this area, where that eventually leads us to take out all of this liquidity if we do push up to the upside. If we sell off, right? If we do get this sell off, we could just be using the move that took us up here, retrace, and there should be a fair value gap somewhere near this inverted fair value gap or somewhere in between this 4-hour fair value gap and this inverted fair value gap. And then we can see a bounce from there. So that'll be the other thing as well. So if we do push up into here, sell off, it may hold. We may get a higher low somewhere in between here and then move from there. Our If we do sell off, this will be our targets. This is the current week low. And we pretty much got equal lows as well. And then we have this daily fair value gap and a previous week low right below it. So we got both the downside targets and the upside targets. So right now the main move on Dow is our buys to the buy to the 4-hour bearish fair value gap. And that is the low on that is 46,862. The middle is 46,970. And the high is 47,000 47,079. And we could see We could also see selling from this range as well, right? So, and if we see selling at this range, we know we want to target the previous week, the weekly low, these equal lows down here, and then the daily fair value gap. This is almost the look you're going to get on Dow and I mean not Dow, but oops, on ES and NQ. It's almost going to be the same. And I say that, but it will look a little different because Dow didn't push up the same with the same strength as the other two pairs. So now let me get Dow in the chat. All right, two more. Got NQ. NQ. You can see on NQ, this was Monday open. We had our 0 to 1. We had our 1 to 2. Our 1 to 2. When we got our 1 to 2, what did we do? We sold off at this inverted fair value gap level. And then our 2 to 3, what did we do at 2 to 3? We took out the low we had just made and the weekly low. And then we bounced all the way down to this price gap. Our 2 to 3 pretty much came down here. What did we say? We could either bounce or we could go ahead and make a 4 to 5 move. We tried to, we from the 2 to 3 move, when we made our 2 to 3 move, we did bounce and make a 3 to 4 move, but we didn't make the 4 to 5. We actually bounced instead of making the 4 to 5, and that's where we bounced from over here. So now we bounce. This bounce came right here, right? This bounce, and then what did we do once we made the bounce, right? We took out liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. We traded into this. This is actually a 4-hour fair value gap right here. We traded back into this inverted fair value gap. Tried to sell off again, it didn't work, and then we pushed on up through that, right? And now we're actually at another inverted fair value gap right here, right? Actually already at another inverted fair value gap, but I'm gonna pull this off to the side so I can get some visuals. And then you can see we were supposed to kind of try to buy from here. This 4-hour bullish fair value gap is now inverted. And now we can use this to see if we're going to sell or buy from there. We're already holding inside of it right now. And how we respond to this level will tell us what we're going to do next, right? So if we sell off, that was the close. We don't need him no more for now. I'm just moving this over for now. I'm not actually placing it, right? Right. We should have a similar move for the one. Similar move, right? We close here, right? Now we trading into this inverted fair value gap, right? There is a high right here. There's a high right here, right? And we can go ahead and slide him over to. There's a that should be a daily fair value gap, but it says 1 hour. Let me change that. Okay. All right. So same situation, right? We got liquidity right here. We got a high right here. And then right above it, we have a bearish fair value gap to the downside. We also have an inverted fair value gap. So if we are going to push up from where we closed yesterday, our 0 to 1 takes us inside of this inverted fair value gap. Now we need to try to see if we turn and close above this midway point. We even got the weekly right now. If we get above this weekly, we hold above the weekly, and then we go ahead and take out this high. And then we reach inside of this daily fair value gap right here. Right? We hold a weekly. We start holding inside of this inverted fair value gap, and we go ahead and trade into it. Now, if for some reason we sell off, I think the sell happens either in this fair value gap, this inverted fair value gap, but most likely inside of the daily fair value gap. And just to show you what that looked like on the daily, I'm just gonna open up the daily chart, and you see we got that daily fair value gap right here. We have price starting to come into that. And you see on the 4 hour, it's one right here, one right here. You see on the 1 hour, we got fair value gaps, and we got just random price liquidity. And then you can see why we would want to take out this high and this high if we already pushed up this far to trade into the daily fair value gap. So like I said, we got highs sitting right below the daily fair value gap that we probably want to go ahead and attack.
And,
So,
and it's always stronger like that too, Corey, when it's like on a higher time frame, right?
yep, yep,
Okay.
yep, that is correct. Let's get rid of this right quick. We took out this low, took out that low. That low's off the chart. And this price gap would be the only thing I could see us coming down to if we did sell off. But even at this point, we already tried to trade through it. So it might be one that we want to kind of test one more time for a downside target. But I don't see us coming back to that yet if we get up in this area. But because now we've set equal lows here, we probably will get a higher low around here somewhere in this area. And now we just got equal lows and previous week lows right here that we'll probably need to come back to later on at some point, right? If we were to sell off, which again, that sell off not looking like the best of a setup, our 5 to the downside is down here at this weekly fair value gap. The weekly fair value gap, that's right here. But for now, I don't see it yet unless we respond negatively to the news for that we get this week. But now this order block, plus we got a fair value gap right here, that may be what's keeping us up. So that may keep us up a little higher, right? So I see the fair value gap on the 1 hour. I'm gonna just use that one. And we overlapping right here. So we might not get a deep move down, which is okay, because we might want to hang out inside of this fair value gap right here and just hold, right? So even if we do come down, hold primarily somewhere around this area, put our 4 over here at the middle, and then we just start pushing up. So this will be us holding inside of this gap and holding this 1 hour fair value gap, right? And worst case scenario, we get a bounce up here push down up here, or worst case scenario, if we sell off somewhere, stay inside of this order block and we get a bounce as well. So these two, this I don't really see it right now from here to here. I don't see these moves yet, but just in case, this is what they will probably look like. Right now, I'm looking for this upside move or this sell off right here. So the main thing I'm looking for on in Q, main thing on NAS I'm looking for is the buy and how we to this 1 hour bullish fair value gap that has a high of 25,008 I'm sorry, 25,088.25. I don't know why I couldn't get that out. The middle is 24,959.25 and the low is 24,830.25. And the overlap between that is a inverted fair value gap. Mainly looking for overlap between the 25,000, the middle of that fair value of that inverted fair value gap, which is 25,182.25, down to the low, which is 25,045. So we get some overlap in between those areas, and that should get us into that daily fair value gap where I think we'll tap the middle of that daily fair value gap at least. The daily fair value gap middle is 25,566. The sales, I don't see them happening yet, especially because we got a bullish catalyst right now. That's because Nvidia beat. So since Nvidia beat, that's gonna put us in a situation where we got a strong bullish catalyst. We just need to see how the news responds to Nvidia, and then we need to just see how the economic news that we get for this week responds. Because like I said, we got a couple things on the news docket this week. Thursday in particular. And now ES, right? Just like we said before, I'm gonna hide this. We got price. There is a gap right here that we bounced off and sold to. We got a gap up. You can see over here. So we're gonna have to deal with that on this particular one, right? Then on the 4 hour, you can see we left order block here on the 4 hour. We traded into this fair value gap. We traded through this fair value gap. And this one got inverted. Now that it got inverted, So now we are trying to see how we're going to deal with that. Right? We were supposed to be buying from here. but instead we sold off. And now we got to figure out what are we going to do with this move. You'll see on the 1 hour, same situation, right? We had the fair value gap here. We had liquidity here. We swept the liquidity, traded into the fair value gap. That's kind of where this sale came from this morning, but it didn't follow through. So now, okay, just move all this to the side for now. We got a fair value gap right here, a little small one, right? We traded through it, and there's actually inversion, and we have a bullish fair value gap that traded through this, right? So there's a gap and a bullish fair value gap right here, and you got another small one right here. So you can kind of count this whole range right here from this wick all the way up to here because it's all pretty much that same move, right? So pull this out to Friday. All right. So we got a gap right here. We got an inverted fair value gap now. We got an order block right here. And we are inside of this inverted fair value gap. And we got an order block right here. So we definitely know now, all right, cool. From yesterday's close, right? And we already in our 0 to 1 move already. You can already see 0 to 1 happening, right? 0 to 1 takes us to this order block. And we already seeing that happen, but I'm gonna just extend it on up, right? The 1 to 2 move should be us reacting to that order block. And then if we get a reaction off the order block, we need to see, does it sell off from here and hold inside of this fair value gap, preferably where we got the overlap between the inverted fair value gap and the high of this hourly fair value gap. Worst case scenarios, we slip out a little bit and hold near the midpoint. So I'm looking at the high of this 1 hour down to the middle of the 1 hour, and preferably right around the low of the inverted. So this 1 to 2 move should not go down too low. Then if we get the 1 to 2 move and bounce off of this, we should see price push up and definitely take out our 1 and these highs over here where we got where we should either have an equal high right here, and then we can start looking at this high getting taken out. And that should give us our 2 to 3 high, 339. And guess where that puts us? Inside of an order block from the daily. I mean, fair value gap from the daily. And we even have some overlap. Our 2 to 3 move should get us above that and into that. And then worst case, we either our 3 to 4 should either hold near this 1 high, which we should get around the weekly to the middle of this inverted fair value gap. And then we should be aiming for our 3 and to take out this previous day high. We take out this previous day high, our 4 to 5 move should take us inside roughly around the middle of this daily fair value gap right here. Best case scenario, we go ahead and tap the monthly, but I'm not gonna look for that now. Then the hang on 1 second, y'all. Okay, sorry about that. Um, okay. So I don't see us making any downside moves yet. Um, but if we do, we get a 0 to 1 move um to take out these lows. We probably get a response off of this area right here because there you can see that we actually have an inverted fair value gap right here. So we get a reaction from there. Then we use this area right here to sell off from here. And that'll look something like this. This move will probably be a little more shallow, but overall, if we do push down, we'll probably take out that previous day low, previous week low right here, if that's where we want to go. I don't see it at the moment because we have pushed up a little far so far, and we do have a bullish catalyst to keep us from going down this far. So for now, this one's highly unlikely. The probability is a lot lower right now for us to get this move. So we just gonna focus on the bullish move. But at the same time, if we do push down there for some reason, I still think we could bounce off of the 1 to 2 or the 3 to 4 down here. And if we do bounce off of those two, then we still likely try to run at least this high right here.
Now, Corey, that 1 to 2 won't happen. That 1 to 2 leg won't happen unless we do have like a bearish candle that takes out that fair value gap, right?
Yep. I
Okay.
was man, girl, I'll give you a high five if I could right now.
I'm
I'll give
the
you a
best.
high five right now, bro. That you own it. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. For this downside move to happen, you have to see this get replaced.
Yeah.
And because I don't see it yet, I don't want to I'm not even gonna consider it yet.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of figuring, but I just want to make sure.
Absolutely though.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because if we do get it, it'll probably happen after we do this 2 to 3 or the 3 to 4. I mean, sorry, if we do this bullish 2 to 3 move right here, that's where we can see the sell off from right here. Or we could see it from the 4 to 5, where we could see that now we done came up into this bearish fair value gap. Now we starting to sell from right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that could be that move that takes out this area right here. And if we do that, that's when we can start looking at, all right, cool, we can get our downside move. But I don't see that probable yet. So that's why I'm just gonna like, I ain't gonna really mention that too much because right now I just want to see the bullish move. That's the most obvious move for now. Uh, and we already in that leg as we speak.
Yeah. Gotcha.
looking for the buy after we do the 1 to 2 move on the buy. I'll be looking for the buy.
Bye. Yep.
Looking for the 2 to 3 buy. And that is inside of the 1 hour fair value gap, which is at 67.28.00. That's the high. The middle is 67.05.75. And the low is 66.83.50, with mainly price holding near the high to the middle because we have overlap of the IFVG, and we'll be looking for price to mainly hold, between hold right around the low at of that IFVG at right around 67.16.50, because that's where we got the overlap, which is this is the main area right here that I'm looking at right here, because
Yeah,
that
because two their value gaps overlap.
that overlap.
Yeah.
And when I'm seeing the overlap, I'm okay with it wick below it, right? I'm okay with the wick below. What I
Okay.
want to see is the bodies of the candle stand above this area. If we see the bodies closing above or inside of this area, that means it's being respected.
Got it.
It can wick all day long. It could do whatever it want to do, just like this area right here. If we go to the higher time frame and we look at this same area and we want to know if it's respecting this new week opening gap on the higher time frame, and on the lower time frame, we might see, all right, cool, it's traded all the way down here. But this is from the daily chart. But I bet the daily candles are pretty much above this level. The body is above the level. We got wicks down here, and that's okay. And when we got overlap, right, this is a inverted fair value gap right here. And then there's the bullish fair value gap right here. If we look at this area right here, you can see we wicked out of it, we wicked out of it, we wicked out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But where the body's closing at are pretty much right in between the overlap. The strongest area right here is
Yeah.
up in here. Did it come all the way down? On the 5 minute, you can see some closes on here, or maybe the 2 minute or the 30 second or some, you can see candles closing right there. But where this form was on the 1 hour, this is on the 1 hour, just like this is on the 1 hour. And on the 1 hour, the bodies are respecting it. And as long as we see that, that means that this 1 hour did do what it was supposed to do.
Those are them. Yep.
Did everything it was supposed to do. And if you got something that happened on the 15 minute or the 1 minute or the 30 minute or the 15 second chart where we got closes below that, that doesn't matter because it respected the 1 hour chart like it was supposed to. So,
Yeah, I think that's where I be getting myself hurt at too.
oh yeah, yeah. You gonna get it because
I jump
you
out of trade too soon, or yeah.
you getting it though. I can see it. Like I can hear it. I hear your questions. I hear your thought process, and I can definitely tell you getting it, like for sure.
Progress.
Like even the question you just asked or the statement you just made about the fair value gap taking out that bullish one, the fact that you know that and expecting that is already like, oh, you got it. Like you getting it, because you understand like when you have the bullish point of interest, there's a bearish point of interest that has to replace it,
Yeah.
and vice versa. And understanding those little intricacies right there will kind of help you map out. And like all this does is it makes you more confident when you see things on the chart and all right, it's right here. It's either going to do this or it's going to do that. And if it does this, I know I can do that. And if it does that, I know I can do that. That's basically what it does, right? It don't like you're not predicting what's going to happen. You're just saying that if it does this, the
Yeah,
probability is higher that it'll do this versus doing that.
that's true. That's true.
That's all you doing. You just
Yeah.
increasing the probability. So I'm proud of you. You get my you get my I high five through the Zoom, and I already know you about to be killing it.
Yeah. I just want to get one of these trading accounts
Hey,
certificate.
hey, I can't wait, man. I'm gonna
I'm
frame.
telling, I'm afraid mine.
I'm gonna make you send me yours too. I'm gonna frame all my student accounts.
I'm gonna frame it.
Mhm. I'm gonna frame all of y'all accounts on the wall in my office, man.
Yeah. I mean,
But all right, man. I don't know if anybody else on this call outside of me and you, but I think that was the last chart. Anybody got any questions, comments?
there was one other person on here. I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm.
this Raji. I
Oh,
was asking Cub, everything you put in the chat, where did I find it right there?
and after I posted in the chat, uh,
Uh,
in the group as well.
yeah, I've been seeing it in the group, but I don't see the writings you be putting in
I've,
there
I've
on the
seen.
chat. Let me see.
So inside of the group,
Okay,
there's two places you'll see. I'll pin it. I'll put the video and I'll pin it, and I'll put it under under this futures play. So
okay,
every time I'll put it all the notes and stuff from the
mm-hmm.
call inside of under this post or under
Up
the
on
like after I
up,
get off the call. So
okay,
in this case, this was Sunday. All of the stuff went under this. And then I just put all of the in the comments, I put Dow, dollar, S&P, NAS, gold. Put all the stuff in here.
okay,
So that way you can come back into it. And so I'll pin it at the top of the group. So once you if you so you don't have to scroll and look for it. If you just look under the features, it'll be pinned over here as well. So you'll see the same thing right here.
okay.
So I was thinking about going back to Discord. Like, I don't know. You like this better or Discord, Tree?
I hated Discord. So I might not be a good judge on that one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
um, but I did like the fact that it alert you because I don't get alerts from Facebook. I just know you go out there and post it, so I just go out there and go look.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
That's the only like I don't get the alerts when you actually post.
Okay. Yeah, also I was kind of thinking too. Um, like just to because I don't know, man. Like I eventually want to get back to doing live sessions at some point, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of torn.
I think I know right now, like you said, like with everything going on at work, it's kind of hard.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But I used to enjoy those live sessions. Um, a lot. I look forward to them.
yeah, yeah,
Man, I look forward to these sessions too because I'm learning. So
yeah, yeah. I'll try to get once I get some of this stuff off my plate. So I'm this post right here. Again, this will be the post right here. If you go ahead and look under the featured section, this will be there, and I'll add all the notes and stuff. And then once the video done, I'm gonna upload the video. It'll also be there. This is the video from last week. And then usually I also add him to this guide right here. So this is a daily outlook. This is the midweek.
oh, you better.
So after I get off the call, usually this is what I'm doing right here. Adding this stuff right here. So you can also go up under the guide right here, and you'll see like all these little the old notes and stuff right there. You can see it up under here. It'll eventually pop up and stuff too. Um,
Reggie, were you on a call Sunday?
Yes, I was.
Oh, okay, because I was about to say that session was fire.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Fire, but that one was like it felt like it really started to click for me.
Oh, I'm telling you, I did take a couple of trades today and one last night. The gold and the paper trade on gold and Nvidia and silver. So
Oh,
okay.
oh, I ain't traded silver in years.
Years, man.
I forgot
Years.
about silver.
I did too. I did too.
I
I
used to take oil. I don't even trade oil anymore. Do you still trade oil?
barely. I look at it if I got a reason, but I ain't really honestly, man, I really just trade EX. Like ES. Like I don't really trade nothing else because I don't need to, you know?
Yeah,
And if I do trade something else, it's gonna be NAS or it's gonna be Dow, you know, like
right.
that to me, if you know how to trade those two, you don't need nothing else, you know.
I'm just going when I'm paper trading. I'm just going through a whole bunch of trades, just seeing how I'm doing on it, stuff like that.
And that's cool. That's cool. This just you gonna find your one. Like everybody find their one that they really know how to read. Uh they know how to get they know how to move, they know what moves, when news drives it, they know what to look for on all cases. Like if it does this, it does that. You'll get your one, you know. If
Yeah.
everybody does that at some point.
Okay.
What's your one, Trees?
Oh, I feel like it's between NQ and ES, but I trade those the most. But I traded Dow today. That's
Yeah.
probably why it burnt me.
It's all right. All right. It's all right. But with I feel like if you trade any three of the indices, they pretty much kind of move the same. You just gotta get used to it. And that's also another thing. Like if one of them not doing what I want them to do, then I'll switch to the other one. That
Yeah.
that's how I usually do. Like I'm always looking at ES, but if I need to trade NQ, got the better setup, then I'll take NQ or YM. So that's kind of how I usually look at it.
Yeah.
But all right, y'all. Everybody blowing me right now. I don't know why. Um, I don't know why, but they blowing me up right now. So let me what's going on, and I'll go ahead and post this stuff, and I'll post the video once it's ready. And yeah, again, all the setups are here, and good luck the rest of the week.
Yeah, thanks, Corey.
Thanks.
All right, y'all. Later.
Have a good one.
All right.